We've all seen those headlines, right? New study finds, or major breakthrough in medicine. They just seem to pop up out of thin air. But here's the thing. Behind every single one of those is a long, really structured journey. It's a quest that takes a tiny spark of curiosity and turns it into knowledge that can literally change the world. So, let's pull back the curtain and actually map out that incredible journey, step by step.
So, how does it really work? How does someone go from a simple what if to a paper in a huge journal? It can look super complex from the outside, but it's actually a structured 5-stage process. Think of it as a roadmap that makes the path from a cool idea to real-world impact totally clear. And honestly, with the tools we have now, it's more accessible than ever before. Let's start that journey.
Okay, everything begins right here in stage 1, the spark. This is that awesome moment when an idea is born. It's all about finding that one perfect question that's worth pouring months or sometimes even years of your life into answering.
And this shows a really crucial shift in how a researcher thinks. See, a beginner, they often start with a broad passion, something like infectious diseases. But an advanced researcher, they're more like a detective. They scan all the existing evidence to find a very specific gap, that one unanswered question. This makes sure their work isn't just interesting, but that it's truly new and needed.
But before you can find that gap, you've got to know the landscape. And that's where the literature review comes in. You can't just start drawing a new part of the map until you've studied all the maps that came before you, right? This is how you really stand on the shoulders of giants.
And the best part is, you don't have to map this whole landscape alone anymore. Think of these AI tools as your personal research sidekick. They can do the work of a whole team of assistants, sifting through thousands of papers in seconds, or even creating these cool visual webs that show how studies are connected. What used to take months in a library, you can now get a huge head start on in just an afternoon.
Okay, so let's move on to stage 2 and see how this all builds. Once you've got your question locked in, you need a plan. This is the blueprint phase. This is where you go from having a great idea to having a concrete, actionable strategy for actually finding the answer.
And this is your study design. It's literally the architectural plan for your entire project. A really strong design means your methods are sound and your results will be trustworthy. If you get this part right, you're building a solid foundation for your discovery. But if you get it wrong, the whole structure could just collapse.
Now, these plans can be pretty simple or incredibly complex. A beginner might start with a case report, which details a single patient story. But an advanced researcher, they're aiming for much more powerful designs, like a randomized controlled trial. That's the gold standard, where you compare a new treatment against a placebo. Or they might do a meta-analysis, which is like a study of studies, combining data from tons of previous work to create one super powerful conclusion.
And guess what? Your AI sidekick is absolutely crucial for building this blueprint. It can help you draft sections of your proposal, use tools like Quillbot to make your writing way sharper, and even do really complex calculations to figure out exactly how many people you'll need in your study. It's not just about writing, it's about making your plan so solid and so clear that nobody can argue with it.
All right, now for the fun part, the action. Stage 3 is the fieldwork. This is where the plan gets put into motion. You're not just reading about the world anymore. You're actually out in it, collecting the raw data that's going to be the heart of your discovery.
And of course, the tools you use get a serious upgrade as the project gets bigger. A beginner might just track their data in a simple Excel sheet. But an advanced project needs more firepower, specialized software like REDCap to securely manage patient data, and powerful programming languages like R to run super complex analyses. We're talking about finding subtle connections in the data with regression models or even machine learning.
This is where an AI sidekick can save you literally hundreds of hours. Just imagine having all your interviews transcribed automatically by Otter AI, or getting ChatGPT to help you write the exact code you need to analyze your data in Python. These tools don't just speed things up, they make really advanced analyses way more accessible to everyone.
Okay, so you've done the work, you have your findings, but raw data by itself isn't a discovery. In stage 4, the story, you have to transform all those numbers and observations into a compelling narrative that tells everyone what you did, what you found, and, most importantly, why it matters.
Luckily, the scientific community has this universal storytelling structure, and it's called IMRD. It has this beautifully logical flow. You start with the introduction to explain the why, then you detail your methods so other people can see exactly what you did, you present your results clean, no interpretation yet, and finally, in the discussion, you get to explain what it all means. It's brilliant.
And a huge part of telling this story is giving a shout out to the other authors in the conversation. Citing your sources is so much more than just avoiding plagiarism. It's about showing where your little piece of work fits into the grand tapestry of science and giving credit to the people who paved the way for you.
At this stage, AI assistants basically become your personal editing team. You've got WordTune refining your sentences for maximum impact. Zotero acts like a flawless librarian, managing hundreds of references for you automatically. And tools like Authenticate make sure your contribution is 100% your own. It's all about making your final story as clear, powerful, and professional as it can possibly be. So, you've written your paper. The journey must be over, right? Well, not quite. Welcome to Stage 5, the Gauntlet. Now you have to submit your work to the scrutiny of your peers to see if it really holds up. This whole process is called peer review. Your paper gets sent out to a group of anonymous experts in your field, and they will challenge your methods, they'll question your conclusions, and they'll look for any possible flaw. Now, it can be really tough, but it's the critical quality control system of science that makes sure that what gets published is rigorous and trustworthy.
And where you decide to face this gauntlet really matters. A researcher might start out submitting to a local journal to share their findings with their immediate community. But the ultimate goal is always a high-impact international journal. And that's not about ego or prestige. It's about getting your discovery into the hands of scientists all over the world so the entire field can move forward faster.
And this is so cool. AI can even help you prepare for this final challenge. Imagine using ChatGPT as a sparring partner, getting it to generate tough reviewer comments so you can practice your responses and basically bulletproof your arguments before you even submit. Other tools can analyze your work and suggest the perfect journal for it, which seriously increases your odds of success.
So let's just bring it all together for a second. This table sums up the entire journey from beginner to expert. Just notice the progression in every single row. You move from just a personal interest to finding specific gaps in the research, from a simple search to a full-blown systematic review, from observing one person to running a powerful trial. The tools evolve too, from Excel all the way to complex programming. Each stage is a leap in rigor and in impact. It really is a path to mastery.
Now, throughout this whole journey, we've talked a lot about AI as this amazing sidekick. But this right here is the most crucial point of all. These are incredibly powerful tools, but they are not a substitute for the researcher's mind. Integrity, original thought, and an absolute commitment to doing no harm, those principles are, and they always will be, the true foundation of great science. The path from a single question to a published paper is clearer than it has ever been, and the tools we have at our fingertips are more powerful than ever. This journey isn't just for a select few anymore, it's accessible. So, that really just leaves one final question for you to think about. What will you ask?